So Charan, tell me, how were you as a student? Were you always the disciplined one or you were the mischievous one?
I was a very studious guy, being son of a school principal. You hardly had an option when you are always like under the watchful eyes of your father, where he managed thousands of kids and you have two at home. Now you should imagine the kind of attention that we got.
Definitely.
And those days were always like, I studied in Old City in a very humble school, which was in the neighborhood. Because the idea was I was not going to the convents, and in 90s, the trend was always about the missionary schools and the convents and stuff. But my day used to start with, it's a small 400 student school, but my language and everything got built during those days in the school assembly, because I used to read the Hindu newspaper in the morning, start with the daily headlines and what are the important points of the day, this day, that age, and all these things has shaped me well. And there were a lot of multilingual people from different backgrounds, and that helped me to empathize with all the sectors of the society.
So Charan, tell me, how do you feel when you're introduced as the student's mentor, as the student's guiding light, somebody who helps students build their networking skills, their social skills, somebody who's helping them beyond their schools and colleges? So how do you feel when you're referred as their guru? You are running the biggest student tribe. So how do you feel about it?
See, to be honest, what I always feel like as an entrepreneur, you always solve the problem which you went through. I missed my IIT and I studied in a very normal engineering college, and I was always bullied and saying that, okay, fine, you don't belong to an elite college, you can't achieve much, and all these things were there. One day my father told me a line saying that if you are a brand, you don't require a brand. And when that made me think that there are a lot of students in tier 1 and tier 2 places, and the world is changing also. The new world order says that it is about you and what is the talent that you have, and that makes you a better person. So today, these students, it's rather than how it makes me feel about that, it is a responsibility that students look up to you. The way you have to conduct yourself, the way you have to plan things well in advance, and keeping yourself in the shoes of a student. एक होता है एक responsibility है. And when we start thinking about it, today's parents and the viewers of this, the reason why I accepted coming here, because it's a responsibility. Because today, unless someone is in the crossroads, like they are in the 10th and 11th and 12th, slowly the maximum degree that people will study or a formal education will become 10th and 11th and 12th. That's how the West is living today.
Yes.
Because whatever someone has to get shaped today is in this 3 to 4 years.
Correct.
The 9 to 12th is what someone has to shape, and whatever happens later is all like a kind of a toppings and addings on the base. And if this base is formed well, and if they are exposed to different things, the real you, rather than someone becoming a journalist after studying engineering after 4 years, or someone becoming a fashion designer after doing a master's in biotechnology. So why can't someone choose a right path when they're in the 10th, 11th and 12th? That's more important.